Hey, hope you had a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. So, I know it's been about almost 2 months since I did one of these. Now, I know my last 7 to 10 videos have been very wrestling heavy, so for the next 4 videos, there will be no wrestling, right? I will not do any wrestling videos for the month of January. Now, if you're wondering, oh, isn't the Royal Rumble in January? Isn't it? Yes, it is. And it's one of my favorite events. But I'm not going to talk about the Royal Rumble until February. So, let's get down to this. How was your Christmas, by the way? Was it good? Mine was. It was great, actually. Got to be with some good people, my family, and I watched a few movies as well. So, this is what I'm going to be doing. This month of January, we're going to do reviews. And this first review is going to be about the Hobbit trilogy. Not just the last one, the 5 armies that just came out last month, but the entire trilogy. I'll tell you what I liked, what I didn't like, and my recommendations of whether or not you should watch just the third one in theaters right now, or if you should wait for the 15-hour special edition that's bound to come out. Now, I'm going to talk about first what I didn't like. So I'm going to do things a little bit different. Most of the times I do these reviews and it's what I liked first and then what I didn't like. But this month I want to talk about what I didn't like first and then talk about what I liked. Now, what I didn't like about this Hobbit trilogy was the first movie. The first movie was very slow. Oh man, it's slow. It's kind of boring. I've talked to some of my friends. They actually fell asleep trying to watch the first movie. They couldn't get through it. And I can kind of see it because it does go kind of slow. It's not as interesting as the next 2 movies. And there are some moments that seem out of place, to be perfectly honest. It seemed like they're trying to put comedy in it where it wasn't really necessary. And then right after the comedy, they went to something very serious. And it's kind of an odd transition. But that sort of thing does happen a little bit in the next 2 movies, but it's not as prominent as it is in this first movie. Also, not enough dragon. Not enough of the dragon. Yeah, I think not enough of, I want to say the dragon's name, Smaug. I like saying it like that, Smaug. Say it with me, Smaug. Yeah, not enough Smaug in this this trilogy. Not enough. He was such a good character that I wanted more Smaug, and that's a good thing. I think it's a character you want more of, but there's not enough Smaug as far as I'm concerned. But maybe that's just me being a big fan of that character. Also, I've mentioned this in other movie reviews. I've talked about this with my family and my friends. I hate when they try to crowbar in a stupid romance story. This starts in the second movie and it continues throughout the third movie. I was like, this is stupid. Why are you crowbarring this dumbass romance story that has nothing to do with the main story? It adds nothing to it. And apparently to some of the people I've talked to who have read the book, it's not even in the book. It was just some BS that they decided to cram in there to, I don't know, get the female audience to watch these movies. I don't know. It was just dumb. It made no sense. It was, yeah, I hate it. I hated that part. Because it added nothing to it. It distracted from what was fun about the movie, because when you see something cool and then they try to go into the romance part of it, it was like, ugh. Yeah, that's literally the sound I made when I saw they were doing this. Ugh. Alright. But I will say, the good definitely outweighs the bad in this trilogy. And that's what we're getting to now. The good stuff. Now, the action in this movie. Oh, the action is good. The action in the Lord of the Rings trilogy is also really good. And they continue that sort of thing in this one. In this Hobbit trilogy. I really like the action. Some of the stuff, even some of the comedy in the action, was good and it was slight. By that I mean, you would see there's a lot of action but there was something a little comical with it that it didn't distract from the action itself. It actually kind of enhanced it. And done like that, I enjoy it. It's not like it was something funny, all goofy, and then they try to make it serious. No, it was serious with the little thin layer of comedy on top of it that wasn't goofy. And I like that. It was really good. Also, the character development in this trilogy, because they made 3 movies, and I know people will complain that it's one book, why would you make 3 movies out of it? At the very least, the 3 movies help you to develop the characters, especially the main dwarf in this movie and Bilbo Baggins, the lone Hobbit in this. You see their character development through these 3 movies, and I like that. It's good to see that sort of development happen, and it was something that, because there are so many characters that we were focusing on in the original Lord of the Rings trilogy, that it was hard to nail all the character development. But in this one, the other characters kind of background, so we knew we were going to have a little bit of development, but not too much. But the main characters definitely had development, and I like that. Also, the effects in this movie are really good. I saw all 3 movies in 3D, and especially the third movie, the 3D definitely helps enhance the action scenes. It doesn't always add to the story, but there are a few moments where if you watch it in 3D, especially in the second movie, I'm trying not to spoil the movie too much. In the second movie, there's definitely a couple of scenes where the 3D enhances the environment and how you get put into the perspective of the characters. And that sort of thing happens as well in the third movie. So that's why I also say the first one is the weakest of the 3, because the 3D, not so much. But it does enhance some of the action sequences. Sorry about that. It has some of the action sequences in the first movie, but not as much as you see in the second and third movie. And it was really fun to have that sort of 3D in the theater. The sound was really good. The music, I enjoy good music in a movie. It helps the atmosphere, and the music in this movie definitely helps that. The 3D as well, they're like I said, in a couple scenes of the third movie, it enhances the feeling you get from looking at a character's perspective, and it actually does help some of the character development, because I don't want to spoil the movie. I don't want to spoil it. Alright, no spoilers. Okay, so yeah. So final verdict on this is this movie trilogy. Oh, before I get to the final verdict, I want to talk about one more thing I liked about this Hobbit trilogy as opposed to the Lord of the Rings trilogy. This movie does not have 25 freaking endings in the last movie. If you watch the Lord of the Rings trilogy, especially in theater, when I watched it, I was, oh, that's the ending. And then getting ready to stand up, oh no, oh crap. Oh, that was an interesting time. Oh, damn it! What the heck's going on here? And then it goes again and again and again. I was like, oh god. Why are there 25 endings in this movie? But in the Hobbit trilogy, there isn't. There isn't 25 endings. There's maybe 3. 3 endings, and then you see it go right to the credits. And even the ending credits are good. I'm not going to say what they are, but you can probably enjoy it. So, recommendations of this movie. If you've seen the first 2 Hobbit movies in the theater, definitely watch the third one in the theater and watch it in 3D. I really like the 3D. I know some people don't, but I do, and it definitely enhances the effect of the battle scenes and some of the environmental scenes. The environment of the scenes, I should say. Sorry. Also, if you have not seen the trilogy in the theaters, wait for the box set. You know there's going to be some sort of special edition, 21-hour extended cut, like they did with the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and you realize, holy crap, I didn't realize this movie was 19 hours long. It's like, yeah, am I being a little facetious or exaggerating a little bit? Maybe. But probably not by much. It's probably going to be 12 hours, let's be honest, with the special extended edition, Blu-ray, extra special edition, Middle Earth style, whatever box set they decide to give you. But hopefully, if they have a box set that has a dragon on it, that'd be cool. I would like to see that. I wouldn't buy it, but I would definitely want to see it at the very least. So I like the Lord of the Rings trilogy and the Hobbit trilogy. I don't know which one's better. Depends on what you're trying to get. But I do think that it works as a trilogy, having it come from one book. And I know some people are kind of like, you shouldn't have done that, but it's just the way it is now. But I did enjoy it. I think you would too. I mean, if you're a fan of fantasy and action, if you can get past the stupid ass romance crap that they crowbar into it and get through the first movie, because especially the first half is kind of slow and a little boring, I think you'll really enjoy this movie. The entire trilogy. I think you'll enjoy the trilogy, and it's something you should check out. So, those are my thoughts on the Hobbit trilogy. What did you think of it? Have you watched it already? Let me know what you think. And if you haven't watched it, will you watch it? Will you wait for the special 23-hour special edition, the box set to come out? Or are you just going to go with the regular edition that's only 9 hours long? So, that's all I've got. I know this one's probably a little bit quicker than usual, but hey, just getting back to the swing of things. I got 3 more reviews for the month of January, and then maybe I'll do different videos. Maybe I'll go back to wrestling in February. So, until then, take care.